Hey guys, welcome to Overcrest. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jake.
We have another news episode for
That's
you guys
right.
today. It's back to the 2 episodes a week, which everybody seemed to really enjoy and always complain about when we got rid of it. So here you are.
Do people want to be kept abreast on current events in the industry, or do they just want to hear us complain?
Well, you don't complain very much, so it's probably not that.
You complain about my opinions.
I do. That's very easy. That is no problem whatsoever. Nothing's new with me. I've done nothing new on any car. I've just been working on Overcrest 24 hours a day, basically. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm working on Overcrest stuff. I have no time for anything
What
else.
is the status of your car projects?
The 911 is still not done, and my truck still just sits in the garage. And the cams are still not in the W114.
I was wondering about the cams. You mentioned that because that's going to be a thing.
Dude, it's like a kind of a shit show to take the cams out of that.
Okay.
Because you have to take the cams slide out the front.
Oh.
So I have to disconnect the motor mounts, jack it up.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get the cams out. I'm not sure.
Can you remove the front grille and radiator? Would that be easier?
You can if you cut it off.
What?
You just cut the top of the radiator support.
Oh.
You just cut it off. That's what I did the first time when I pulled the motor out and put it in.
And then if you welded them back?
You can see the welds where I just welded it back on. But
if you were smart, you would have made some sort of fastener situation, so you can just bolt it, unbolt it.
No, I like the structural part of it there.
True.
I like I can always just whizzer wheel it off again if I want to. But I got to put the cams in that, which are pretty rad, because right now it's just got stock cams.
Yeah.
Which with all that breathing that thing can do,
it can handle more cam.
It can handle a lot more cams. So I called up this company. I can't remember the name of the company now, which is fine because I paid for a price anyway. I said I want some cams for my motor.
Yeah.
Which, I believe it's an M110. I said, and if I'm wrong and you're a Mercedes nerd, I don't care. I need some cams for this engine. Okay, what kind of cams do you want? I'm like, I have some ITBs because I didn't feel like telling him it was carbs. I'm like, I have ITBs.
Why? Okay, first of all, why was there judgment about carbs, or he would be
it's just easier because people that don't know anything about carbs don't know the difference. So I just say ITBs. People look at that at the Mercedes all the time, or the 911, or any other car that I've ever had carbs on. They're like, oh, those ITBs are sick. It's totally sick. And they're technically not wrong.
Right.
But that's not how you refer.
They are individual throttle bodies, but it's a carburetor, not fuel injection.
Throttles. They're not individual throttle bodies. ITBs have one body for each throttle typically. There's one runner and a throttle. And then,
right.
Then
You're saying how Webers are... Yeah,
it's connected.
Right.
You have 3 carbs. It'd be like three-bodied thing. I don't know what you would...
Dual throttle bodies instead of individual.
Triple throttle bodies.
Yeah.
I guess that's...
Yeah, triple throttle bodies.
Triple throttle bodies.
Oh, those TBTs.
Anyway, so I just say I've got ITBs. They're like, okay, we have a sport cam, probably work great. I'm like, there's got to be something better in sport cam. We have a race cam. I'm like, is that what did they do? What did AMG do on their race cars?
Yeah.
And they said, we have an AMG profile from the rally cars. It's pretty aggressive. I'm like, that's the one I want.
Yes.
That's the one I want.
Oh, so it's going to be lumpy idle.
Well, not necessarily. Do you know what lumpy idle comes from?
I guess I don't.
Yeah,
explain it to me.
Lumpy idle.
I thought it was
a lot of times. Now, this isn't always true, but a lot of times lumpy idle comes from when you have a shared, if you have a shared intake plenum,
right,
and you have a huge cam,
right,
you actually get a compression feedback through the
because you have
intake charge
overlap on your,
which causes the lumpy
valves.
idle is because you have turbulence in your intake charge. And when you have ITBs, no matter how aggressive your cam is, it should still idle pretty well. Because you don't have any turbulence, you just have 6 individual little engines running. You do. You have 6
yes.
individual. I'm not wrong.
No, I love that you always use that.
Yes.
It is more appropriate on a 911 because it's individual.
Yes.
Individual cylinders and yeah.
It's like having 6 moped engines attached to a crank.
Basically, yes. But 4-cycle.
Yes.
No, the other thing that cams account for the lumpy idle, though, is because a cam profile
the duration, yeah.
Well, it's tuned for a specific resonance frequency of a given RPM.
Yeah.
And usually if you're got an aggressive cam, it's moving the power band up. Therefore, the engine works ideally perfectly up at 6,000 RPM, for instance, which means the further away you get from that, it's a sacrifice of running ability at a lower RPM.
Yeah, but it's still, if you have individual throttle bodies or individual throttles, it still runs pretty smooth. The really lumpy idle is you're thinking of kabunk, kabunk, kabunk,
Yeah, big V8 with a single carb. And
yeah. That's
I want it to sound
that's because you're sharing one throttle body for all the cylinders, basically.
Interesting.
Right? Because if you think about like
I
like
still
a small
want
block
you
with
to
a
put
Holly
these
on the top.
cams in this thing, and it's just like
You want me to tune? I can make it do that. I can make it do that. It will be wrong, but I can make it do that. So I got to put the cams in. It's not going to take me that long. So I'm just like, when it's nicer out. And the truck, I'm going to actually start. I ordered motor mounts. They're going to be here this week. Yeah. I'm actually going to start filming for the YouTube series again. Everybody's
That's
like,
right.
I got a bunch of messages the other day. What happened to this build? What's going on?
Interesting.
Luckily, not much.
Yeah, it's not like you missed a whole lot.
The Mercedes, however, has like drastically changed from when I was working out on the YouTube channel.
Oh, I suppose.
But
yeah.
the truck hasn't. So we're going to get back into the truck, and I'm going to go back and forth. And I think there's some other Overcrest things that are happening that we can't tell you about that I'm going to start filming for the YouTube series as well. So I'm going to start getting that going again. It takes a lot of personal motivation to do.
Yeah, it's a lot
to get out there. And I lost a cord for my microphone.
Okay.
And I'm like, darn, can't record. I had to order another
There's
one.
a convenient excuse. I couldn't record even if I wanted to.
Did you know that there's a new stereo for your Boxster?
I did not.
Nobody cares.
What?
Next article.
So this is from Porsche, by the way. And yes, well, they've had these before, though.
I know,
the
but
Porsche
now,
retro sound
Now you
ones.
can have retro sound for your 996 and your Boxster. I know we got Porsche folks that listen. I just thought it would be cool to mention that you can get CarPlay and your...
I thought we had them for the 996 already.
996, yes, but not the Boxster and not the Cayenne. So now the Cayenne has
the Cayenne
one.
is...
Yeah, the Cayenne has one as well, so you can have CarPlay and stuff like that.
I do. They are very nice stereos, but they're very expensive.
Extremely... Well,
I know.
It's a Porsche. What do you expect? Fenders cost $2,000, so I mean, how much is a stereo going to cost?
Oh, I did think of something I'm doing.
What are you? Okay, what are you
doing?
doing?
Speaking of stereos for my Cayenne,
you talk for a while. Jesus,
I know.
You can read this next article.
Jeez, people, I'm sorry for the negativity. We can be happy, Chris. People can be happy.
Only if they agree with me.
Yeah, no, I don't even agree with you, and I'm happy probably because of that.
Maybe. But guess what? You happy people need me to tell you what's wrong so you even know that you're happy.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah,
no,
definitely
that's just depressing is what that is. Chris.
No, that's okay.
You can be happy. I give you permission.
See, you're a head in the sand kind of guy.
Not necessarily. I wouldn't go that far.
I would. You're definitely a head in the sand kind of guy.
I don't seek out news and...
I don't either. I don't watch the news anymore.
Political commentary.
Because I don't... Legitimately, I don't watch the news.
Okay.
I follow financial news. That's about it. Because I just...
Well, then how are you reprimanding me for being head in the sand guy?
Oh, that's a good point. It just got... Honestly, it got too depressing.
But you're too happy.
Just like... You know, it's not that I don't want to hear about what's happening. I just get so sad with the state of the relationships people have with each other when it comes to topics worth debating.
Okay, yes. Yeah, the lack of discourse, I think, is what it comes down to.
And I think the Clarkson thing is an example of that. Is nobody even wants to have a discourse with Jeremy. Nobody even wants to talk to him about it. They just want to burn it all to the ground.
Yeah, and it is part of the culture where it's like, oh,
truly sad.
If he's blacklisted, hey guys, he said something bad, he's done.
Yeah, put him on the blacklist.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's not good. I don't know if he's necessarily a good guy personally, but to your point,
I'm sure
does that necessarily matter?
My guess is hanging out with Clarkson if you can. From my experience hanging out with any celebrity, and I've never hung out with like big celebrities, but I've hung out with some like B-list celebrities and stuff like that. They have a they have a wall, right? But once you get past the wall, you can get to know them as a person.
Okay.
Because everybody thinks you want something. Like if you were to go up to Jeremy Clarkson and he would just assume that A, you want a picture.
Okay.
Or B, worse, you want something. You want him to do something for you.
Right.
And that's honestly, it's one thing that I've been really, really careful about on the podcast.
What's that?
There's a lot of people I would like to talk to, and I think I alluded to this with Ken Block.
Okay.
Is I'm not just going to have someone on the podcast because I want them to bolster the listenership. I want to have them on the podcast because we truly have something to discuss,
right?
And truly something to experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of celebrities and stuff are used to...
And what have we always said, too, not to interrupt, but you do what caters to the listeners,
Yes.
right?
Serve the reader. Serve the
Sure,
listener.
it may be cool to have a giant celebrity on there, but if it's not truly interesting to the conversation,
Right.
yeah, no, we want to do that.
So I imagine if you get past all that with Clarkson, he's probably kind of grumpy.
This sounds familiar. What else, Chris?
All right, moving on. The Civic Type R and Corolla GR flippers have been burned at auction. If you know these cars,
flippers. We're not talking about ducks and other aquatic animals.
No, flippers.
You're talking people they're
they buy
buying
cars
these new,
from the dealer and then try to flip them.
which only works if there's a massive markup at the dealer, right?
Right. Listen,
What?
you read it. My voice is dying.
Two extremely desirable hot hatchbacks in short supply, the new Toyota GR Corolla and Honda Civic Type R, just went up for auction on Cars and Bids, and both of them fell short of the marked up prices the sellers originally paid. The first car was the Corolla in question. Seller never disclosed in this instant what kind of markup they paid, but when the auction ended, they commented that they're still taking a substantial loss. The car sold for no reserve at $48,550.
$48,550.
Yes, for a Corolla.
For a Corolla! What are we doing?
Which is
I know it's a GR, but-
$8,500 above the MSRP. So that means he paid more than $8,500 above the MSRP.
Correct.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, many in the comments section of the listings suspected someone had snagged a Corolla and was looking for a fat profit. In the seller's defense, the car was listed for no reserve, so they kind of knew there was risk there, and they didn't work out positive. The other instance, the Civic Type R, more egregious auction.
Egregious?
Egregious.
Egregious is, I don't even, that's when you...
You wrote this. I don't know.
It says egregious. There's no V in, sorry. The more egregious was the Civic Type R auction. Noted in the listing's description was the sticker price.
Oh, so this guy did.
And a dealer markup of more than $20,000.
Wow.
50% dealer markup. The MSRP on the car was $44,385.
Wow.
$385 for a Civic. The final price was $67,000.
Wow.
For a Civic. I'll just keep saying that. Granted, that was just the sticker, not necessarily what the seller finally paid, but it's pretty safe to say that some markup was involved.
Oh, yeah.
The car was listed with a reserve, and the final bid was low enough that the car didn't sell. The final bid, $49,000.
Wow.
Almost $5,000 above the actual MSRP. It's pretty clear the seller wasn't going to make a profit and might not even have broken even. And with no comments or responses on the listing, there's no way of knowing what the seller's motivation was. Come on. But reselling a brand new car, having a reserve, having huge markup, and saying nothing about the car at all suggests the seller was hoping for a juicy flip, and every flipper can just suck it. I love it. I love these guys getting screwed. I love it so much. Especially
better
guys
or worse than, I suppose it is a speculator.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
It's I don't understand how Porsche keeps giving allocations to people just because they bought something else when the people just flip and sell the car.
That's one of the reasons I used to like Porsche over like a Ferrari, right? Because a Ferrari, you
but a
can't
lot of those
buy
guys
the
just capitalize
Ferrari.
on it now. They just sell them.
Oh, right. Yeah, because if you can get it and no one else can, of course. It's dumb. Yes. Yeah. Before we go to the next story, do you want to hear maybe some helpful advice, experience I had? We talked about car stereos. This can maybe help someone else out.
Okay.
And I
It's
do
not a left field, but all right.
No, and this is, I'm going to complain too. So you should love this.
All right, great.
Yes, we
You'll be
talked about
happier
me
afterwards.
No, I won't.
Yeah, so
It's
you
gonna
had a
get
bad
me
experience.
grumpy. Yes.
You had a bad experience.
Yes.
Now you're going to change it to a good experience. Boom. Breath of joy right there. Now you'll really enjoy the new experience more than if you would have originally enjoyed the other experience if it went fine.
Yeah, no,
If the
because
original
this costs money.
Hey, you're plenty of money.
Yeah,
Go
true.
ahead.
All right, so I have two 2015 Porsches. That, not bragging, I'm just of note, they're both the same year. And what's weird is the Cayenne, he just walked away. I know. You know what? That did sound very bad. Can we just get rid of that part? Let's just pull that back out. No.
Don't forget, he also has a 72 Porsche as well.
71. You have a 72.
Well, that's right. I should know about your license plate.
Correct. I also have a 87 944 Turbo.
Good grief. Continue with your radio story.
So
with your 2015.
No, so the month of January.
I have. Hold on. I have a clip for. This is actually from next week's episode. I'm going to play it here.
Yes, I like this.
Well,
this is a little dramatic, but it is quite pretentious.
Yes.
Should I talk like this the rest of this story? So one of my new Porsches. No, so I noticed this last year as well. Like right at the beginning of the year, when I'm driving the Cayenne, the stereo would just start rebooting. It would like power down and start, like it'll give you the little loading screen.
Okay.
And I timed it because it happens so frequently. It was every 2.5 minutes on the mark. So what is that? Every 200 and some seconds, it'll bunk and restart. Super annoying.
150 seconds.
Yeah. Yes. So this started, I noticed it last year in January and I started Googling. So the Porsche software doesn't get along with the XM Sirius radio software. And
do you use XM?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't even have a subscription. But they basically, Sirius has a promotion where like the first week or two of the year is free. They're trying to get people hooked to try it out, right? But what they have to do is they have to download a software patch into everyone's radio. And for whatever reason, certain Porsche models, it just it like glicks out the system.
Was it OTA or what? How does
it's an over-the-air thing.
Okay.
And so it'll restart and reboot. And this happened last year, and I was able to just like do a factory reset on the stereo, and it worked.
Yep.
Well, this year, it literally fried the hard drive in the stereo.
Okay.
And it only happened on one of the two vehicles, which is very strange.
This is a common thing that happened to a lot of people.
But it is the thing that happened. Yeah, and usually they're like, oh yeah, it's this weird software patch that goes down. You can reboot the stereo to factory settings. You're good. But another thing is the fact that the hard drive completely wiped out.
Yep.
And this does also happen to people. And it's really strange to think that they have a literal old school spinning hard drive on these units.
No shit.
Yes. And you can hear it go and like
that's stupid.
spool up. Yes.
Especially for an off-road vehicle. You think it would be an SSD.
True. Yes. Well, that's what I'm replacing it with. So there's a guy that basically hacks the hard drive and the software to work on a solid state drive.
Yeah.
And he basically gives you the whole package. You plug this in where it's supposed to with an adapter cord where the hard drive replaces it, and you run the software, and it thinks it's in the correct car, and you're good to go.
Well, congratulations on a job well done.
Thank you. It's not here yet. But
yeah, but you're going to feel so much pride.
Yes, and happiness.
I still can't believe there's a mechanical spinning bladder hard drive in there.
Weird?
It's absolutely bizarre. All right,
Yes.
what do we got next?
Isn't that ridiculous that a software download from Sirius XM screws up? I will say I don't even have a stereo in the 911.
I don't. I do. I
know
did
you
put
do.
one in there.
I know you do.
Yeah, I usually listen to audiobooks, believe it or not.
The AirPods are good for that too.
Yeah,
Headphones.
but I don't. I'm not a big fan.
All right. Did you know that Mazda, notorious for the rotary, the Wankel, if you will, we did a whole history story on the Wankel engine, and it was dead.
Yep.
We haven't seen a rotary since the RX-8.
And guess why it's dead?
Why?
Because it's a terrible engine.
That's not true.
It sounds like a
two-cycle.
Like,
it sounds
okay,
like
hold
a
on.
two-cycle.
Imagine this song, but played with kazoos.
I really want an early RX-7. That's on my ownership list.
Terrible.
Yeah, the carbureted version.
Ugh.
Yes.
The rotary engine was the biggest mistake any automotive
and they
engineer
just
has
rev
ever made.
so quickly. They're so
sound
cool.
They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible.
That's an idle when you port them. Because the port, like instead of a cam, you just open up the ports on the case bigger.
Yep.
Same as a two-cycle, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And you can stack all the plates together. You can make a 4-rotor.
I will
you can make
never.
a 6-rotor.
I'll never understand why people like these, other than being contrarian and liking something that's different. I
don't know anyone like that.
I don't like things because they're different, you douche. I like them because
you are so salty today. Regardless, supposedly,
I'm only salty because you talk so much shit about Mercedes on the episode that's coming out later this week. I'm angry about it.
I was not trying to talk shit. I'm trying to let you know I don't understand. I really don't know anyone else that is like really into Mercedes.
I'm not really into Mercedes. I just like them. I like them. I just like them. I like BMWs too, and I like my Isuzu.
I didn't mean to be that negative. I was genuinely asking questions. I think you thought I was trying to insult you.
You don't genuinely ask as many like in the weeds, like you're just crawling around in the dirt like some sort of army crawling little investigator that's trying to find out this.
You know why? Because usually if I'm somewhat interested in it, I'll just be Googling on my own and then add something to the topic. Mercedes, I'm not interested in it. I know you know it, so I'm just asking you.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about this stupid engine that's no rotary engine. Is cooler than anything, than the worst thing Mercedes has ever made. I would rather drive a 1967 Mercedes 200 or 220 diesel than a rotary.
Oh, God.
I'd rather clatter around
Why?
and stink. I'd rather
Have you
go
ever driven a rotary?
Yes. I'd rather go into a restaurant and have people go, oh,
Yeah.
what is diesel?
Yeah. Oh, diesels are terrible. I agree with you there.
100%. I'd rather do that than can't do it.
And like you can premix the gas a little bit, like an old school 2-cycle on those. They have oil injection, but you can premix it a little bit.
Okay, well, this further proves that the rotary is dead. Go ahead.
Well, no, it's not. They're bringing it back as basically a range extender on some of its future models.
Yeah, great. That's super great. A range extender.
Well, this doesn't make sense. What makes sense as a range extender, and I've always thought this, is a turbine engine. Because you want a range extender, it's basically just a generator. You want it to work at a constant RPM and be highly efficient. And that's what a turbine is.
Yeah, but a turbine needs to run all the time. A range extender does not run all the time.
No, it only runs when you need to charge batteries.
But a turbine is like, needs to spin up. It takes time.
Which you have an electric motor to spin it up. You can use the generator on the other end of the stator to spin it up.
So you're saying that
it makes perfect sense.
Because you're out of battery, and you need to use a range extender. You need to use your battery to start the range extender. Yes, it's
part of the software.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
You don't think these have a starter motor to start them up? Same thing.
Do they, though?
Yes, of course they do. It's not connected to the driveline.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, I suppose it does have a starter.
It's the same damn thing.
I guess, yeah. I just don't think a turbine engine's going to be like a good, like the packaging of that. What would that look like? And what would it
put it they're very small. You could just, it's a small little turbine engine. It can run on anything.
You know what else you can do?
What?
You could just put a lawnmower engine back there.
Yeah, but they're not efficient. They're loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That
turbine, that might work. I don't know why nobody's done that.
We did the whole episode on the turbine car.
Yeah, that was pretty special.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they're building a car with. So look, this is they had an RX Vision.
It was a concept car.
You see that thing?
Yeah, I do. It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It looks like if a Panamera looked good. You know, it is like that
it's a
sweat.
Two-door, but it's very long.
Yeah, it's that long,
sinuous
Jaguar-esque.
Yes.
Like,
it looks like an RX-8 in the front a little bit, but if it had some facial cosmetics done.
So scroll down a little bit. That is the Mazda MX-30.
What I can tell you is it's using that same Mazda red color, so they got that going for it.
It's ugly. It looks like a
it looks like a
crossover.
It almost okay. The only reason I like it is it's reminding me of a VX.
You like it.
VX Across or a Zuzu
Via-Cross?
Via-Cross a little bit. Yeah,
I don't see that at all.
Two-door SUV.
It's not a two-door. It's split. It's split rear door. It's got a split rear door. It's not a two-door.
You're right. There's a weird. I do not like those weird like 3/4 doors where they fold backwards.
And the shortest ownership of any car ever of all time for me
was it?
Was the FJ. So an FJ Cruiser.
Yeah.
Had split doors.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it, but I don't like split doors
My dad's
either.
F-150 has that. They're just very unpractical.
Yeah, so it's got a FEV, which is, what is that? The plug-in.
A FEV?
Plug-in hybrid.
Oh, PH FEV.
Yeah, FEV.
Yes. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicle.
You know what's sad is that when someone makes a hybrid, I'm always kind of like, good for them.
Right.
But it sucks that I'm like, that's what I'm happy about. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
As I've
that's
said before,
all you have left.
It's like being hungry and opening the fridge and none of your favorite foods are there, but it's all kind of average food, but you're hungry, so you eat it anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what this is like.
Does this thing have like a polycarbonate roof, though?
I don't know. It does look like you can kind of see through a little bit there.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
I don't know, can we make it big? Ooh. No, it's just long and fat.
Yeah, you just extended it. Okay.
No, it doesn't. It's.
Chris, did you know that GM is bringing a new small block V8 to market?
Do you think,
what's that?
Do you think we will go away? Do you think at some point something will happen, it will come along, and it will make crossovers not a thing?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think eventually we're
100%.
going to get past this?
Oh, 100%.
Thank God. Okay.
Because nobody of our generation wants a minivan with kids because you grew up in a minivan and they're not cool, right? So everyone went to the crossover because it's practicality of a minivan, but it's not a minivan. And because now the next generation coming up, or whatever it is, the next vehicle buyer, everyone grew up with a crossover because their parents had it, it won't be cool. That's what it comes down to. It's buying cycles of generations.
I think it's more complicated. I think it's like a generational.
Why are wagons not a thing in the U.S.?
Wagons have never been a thing for young people, I don't think.
Well,
I think I think you're right. I think
you know what I mean? Because I was getting at the station wagon.
I just think it's more complicated.
Of the 60s, right?
More complicated, though. I think it has stuff to do with culture, too.
Sure, there's nuance there, but
kids don't even get driver's licenses anymore.
That's
So who's going to take over and replace the crossover? As long as the pod is comfortable.
Yeah.
We never talked about D.
D?
D.
What is D? The letter D?
Oh, no, Jake.
What are you talking about?
All right,
D?
hold on.
Who or what is D?
D is, hold on, I got to pull it up.
You're literally just saying
I know.
a letter.
D is the BMW iVision D.
Okay.
All right, let me see if this, can you hear that?
Oh.
Okay, so this is BMW's.
Yes.
Did you watch this?
No.
Okay. This is. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll put this in so you can actually watch it. Here, let me share my screen for you. There you go. Now you should be able to see it. Oh,
You broke it.
did I break it?
It's thinking. I did not watch this. I did not realize.
Okay,
Arnold
well,
Schwarzenegger
it doesn't
was
want to play it. So basically, yeah, it's basically Arnold. Do you want to watch this? It's only 5 minutes long.
Are we going to watch it live?
We're watching it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you know what sucks? My internet is so bad that we can't watch this.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's fine.
okay, so here's what happens. Arnold gets hired to do a commercial, right? So
Yeah,
he shows up at
obviously.
this place. He's wearing like some old like costume or whatever. And this voice starts talking
Okay.
and starts telling him about how everything he liked in the past was terrible.
Okay.
And he's like, no, it wasn't. It was romantic. It was great.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like, no, it wasn't. It was terrible. And guess what? This new thing, I wonder if I can just skip to, can this please play? Can it please play? The AI. That's AI talking. Yeah, it's that bad. Okay, so you've got this.
I get it now.
You've got this nostalgic music playing.
Yes.
And in this clip is this young girl going to like he's like, everything was more romantic back then. You could feel it. You could taste it.
Okay.
And of course they make some comment of like, yeah, you sure can't taste it. It's a smoky car, blah, 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 whatever. But he's saying how like even relationships were better back then. And this fucking AI of this car literally says, we can have a better relationship. I'm not going to hurt you, or something to that effect.
Okay, so I didn't even understand what they're trying to market here. So yes, it's a concept car they're showing. It's like a digital rendering of a concept car. But what they're actually doing, this is Siri for your BMW's interface. That's
Right.
all a D is.
Right.
I didn't understand that. So that's just to clarify. You can basically ask, hey, D, play whatever on the stupid infotainment system. So that's what they're trying to market. But wow, the marketing is bad that they're basically making fun of themselves. It's so backwards.
It is really, it's kind of like they're just like, yeah, we know how awful we used to be. Guess what? We're not like that anymore. It says, designed to reimagine the relationship between driver and vehicle, D is not just another BMW. No. D has a totally unique digital soul.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear you.
A unique digital soul.
Uh-huh. What?
It doesn't have a soul.
No, obviously not.
And with it comes a lot of personality. D laughs, D jokes, D learns, D claps back, D questions, D happy now. What is this? Like what terrible copy this is. D can change color to match your outfit, augment reality, or take you to virtual worlds. It can show like an avatar in your window, like an avatar that's driving.
Yeah.
D is, for all we can tell, very much alive and has her mindset on becoming the ultimate companion. So I think what they're going to have at some point is, God, I wish we could just play this whole thing. The internet's too bad. I feel like we're kind of doing disservice to how bad this actually is. You'll be able to leave you'll have your digital assistant in your house. You'll leave your house and it will come with you. And this commercial insinuates that you are going to build a meaningful relationship with this. Do you remember in Did you see Blade Runner?
Yes.
Do you remember the girl?
Yeah.
That he has?
Anna de Armas.
She's so beautiful. Anyway, so he finally finds a way to take her with him.
Yes. Yep.
But there is a scene where an actual prostitute comes with him.
Right.
And they
That
merge
the AI
bodies.
hires. Yeah, it's a great scene.
It merges, and then they go outside later, and he's talking with her, and he's like trying to pretend to touch her face. And in this, his boss calls, right?
Yeah.
The chick, the boss that's in charge of all the NPCs or whatever they are, and she freezes. The beautiful girl, the avatar, freezes, and he has to all of a sudden look at her frozen and with like talking to his boss. It's never going to be real,
right?
And I hate that we're being sold that it can be.
I think you're reading too. I'm going to be contrarian,
dude. No, I wish it.
I understand what they're trying to sell there. So, like, yes, they make it
what they want. It's what they want. It's what they want.
Well, it's
to be
futuristic,
possible,
right? They want it to be futuristic. What it actually is going to be is
say
just
their car
Siri
is a digital
for your car.
soul.
I know, it's terrible marketing.
What is the definition of soul? Soul, the spiritual or immaterial part of a human being or animal regarded as immortal.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Hello?
I understand.
This is some dystopian shit, man. If we're gonna start, they're saying that you can exchange the painful contrast building relationships that you have with real people that let you down and make mistakes and hurt you. You need to watch the whole thing. If you watch it, you would agree with me.
It's a bad ad campaign. That's all it is. It's just going to be Siri for the car. That's all it is.
Have you ever seen Her?
No, I never did see that one.
Where the guy develops a relationship with an AI?
Yep.
I'm telling you, dude, at some point, AI it's not gonna hurt you. It's gonna work harder than you. It's gonna fuck better than you. It's gonna kiss better than you. It's gonna know you better than you.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be your friend. Or they're gonna pretend that it could be your friend and you're gonna pay a monthly subscription for it.
Right. Well, there's already all these movies you're talking about are cautionary tales about that. So that's why I'm hoping it's never gonna get to that.
All right, well, I don't know. We want to talk about any of this?
The only thing I'll say, so GM is bringing a new small block V8 to market. And the only thing I find interesting about that is, everyone else is going EV, including GM. Mm-hmm. They're all in on EV. But they just spent $854 million to prepare engine facilities to produce the company's 6th generation small block V8.
Can't believe it's still going. Probably. I wonder if this is the last one.
Oh, it definitely, it definitely
Probably
will
is.
be. I just find it also fascinating that the small block, the Chevy small block from the 350, all like the LS as well. They called it the LS instead because it was redesigned, but it's still the small block family they're talking about.
Tell me about the soul of the small block, please.
Well, you're insufferable today. You really are.
I'm the best version of myself right now.
Regardless, what I was going to say, speaking of soul, it is amazing that they still have pushrod V8s in the. It's a pushrod valve actuation system.
It's amazing. The new one's
not
gonna have
overhead cam.
New one's gonna have 4-bolt mains though.
Sure,
but
buy
it as a crate motor. It's gonna be great for swaps.
Why is every other engine besides EVs now, obviously, going to it went to overhead valves and very complicated valve trains and everything else when apparently push rods are still getting the job done?
I don't know. It's why does Porsche put a 911 in the back?
Have you ever heard of your timing chain or timing belt snap on a pushrod V8?
No, because the chain is only like 8 inches long.
Correct. Correct.
And it's very easy to access, and you can just change it anytime you want to.
Yes.
With like 4 tools. It's
not on the new ones, but yes.
The longevity of those is truly
right. And so truly incredible. It's very interesting that they're still going strong with the pushrod.
One would say they're immortal,
just like the Soul.
Yep. Chevrolet has brought us the E-Ray.
Yes.
The E-Ray is a collaborative effort between the NSA, CIA, JSOC to introduce a barrel-fired railgun that also has a laser guidance system. It is dubbed the E-Ray.
What?
Just kidding.
Oh, okay.
That's just the stupid name they gave this new car.
Well, you get it, don't you? The Corvette Stingray, but it's electric.
It's so stupid.
The E-Ray.
It's so dumb, dude.
That would actually be a terrifying sea creature, by the way. You have electric eels, and then you have stingrays.
Even Apple understands it's stupid to do stuff like this. They don't call everything the everything anymore. Now it's just the Apple Watch. True. They're not going to call it the iCar. It's just going to be the Apple car.
But they're never going to do that. I know we keep talking about that.
The car?
Yeah.
They will.
No.
Everybody expects it's coming. Remember from the chart from last week? Everybody's like, it's Apple.
I know.
Coming.
That's so dumb. No, there'll be a part supplier maybe or
over
software
70
supplier.
years and 8 generations, Corvette has been innovated upon time and time again. Now it's been electrified for the first time with an all-wheel drive.
Okay, here's what I love about this car, though. Have you looked into this at all?
It's fine.
It's not. They did not make it for efficiency. They used the technology to basically make the thing
the reason
as
I wanted to talk
fast
about
as
this
possible.
is to make fun of the name.
Okay,
because it's stupid, and
again,
also to
terrifying sea creature.
So what? One thing that I noticed in that paragraph. Did you notice it?
What? No, I didn't hear.
Over 70 years and 8 generations, Corvette has been innovated upon. It's not the Corvette. It's just Corvette. So the Corvette has been turned from a model into a brand.
Oh,
I just wanted to point
because
that
we
out.
talked about that before.
Yeah, so it's
like the Mustang.
Even all the news articles I've read have started on with this jargon.
Interesting.
You
realize that's probably a PR thing coming
totally.
down?
Yeah,
it's like anytime you refer to the Corvette,
it
is Corvette,
not the Corvette. So it's $104,000 base price, which is the same as the Z06.
Okay.
Very similar, 0 to 60 times, 655 combined horsepower, 0 to 60. Quarter mile in 10 seconds.
Yep.
Which seems kind of slow. Z06 is
10-second
10.5. The model Plaid is 8.8. We're talking about adding electrification.
This isn't electric. It's a hybrid.
Yes, but it has an electric motor in the front.
Yes.
That's what makes it.
Is it in the front or is it actually?
I guess I don't know.
Sandwich. No, it's a sandwich unit. Hold on, I'm looking.
Anytime anything has an electric motor associated with it now, you would think it would be faster than its combustion engine counterpart. Right?
Yeah, but it's also much heavier, right? That's one thing that's interesting with this.
Why not buy a Z06? It's the same performance.
I guess I don't know.
But I don't either. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's going to handle a lot better than a Tesla, technically. But still, the Z06, I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. There's other articles here. We're not going to go on. Maybe we'll save them until
it's because
next week.
They had to do this.
All right. I want to talk about Bring a Trailer Car of the Week. But before we do that, what have you got for us?
Yeah, let's take a minute to talk about the Overcrest Drivers Club. You can go to overcrestproductions.com.
It's a happy place, I promise.
Oh, God. It better be. Can we pay extra to get the Happy Chris? Is that what the Drivers Club members have got this whole time?
I am who I am.
Happy Chris?
I am who I am, who I am. I am who I am.
It's actually more of me with history stories. So, yes, it is a happier place.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, overcrestproductions.com/drivers club. As little as $5 a month. You can support the show. You can be a member that get exclusive content, access to old history stories, Overcrest shorts that we're doing regularly.
Who also said? I was going to see if there was a kind of a quip
about being angry.
No, about
I don't like
I am who I am. That's kind of like a cool statement. You know who else said that?
I'm sure lots of people.
God. Go ahead. Exodus 3:14. I am who I am.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue. Drivers Club. Also known as heaven.
Yes, sure. In that analogy, I guess it is.
Or purgatory if I'm there.
Yes, 100%. It is my personal purgatory. Check it out.
On a weekly basis.
You do get exclusive access to content that hasn't been released, full-length interviews that we truncate on use on the podcast. You can hear the whole thing. You get access to merch. You get access.
We've had a bunch of new Drivers Club members over the last month. I'll make sure I recognize everybody next time, but I just can't thank you guys enough for supporting the show. Guess what? This is our last episode with shitty internet. You guys don't.
Yeah, you're right.
You guys don't understand. Let me talk to you for a second.
Oh, man.
It's been 5 years of using phones or free Wi-Fi or like pirating internet from like somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know why we've done this. But
to ourselves,
because
it's because every time I convince us, it's working. Look, it's working.
I know,
works.
And it kind of works. Drivers Club, thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
You are paying for the internet for the studio, which means that we could have played the D movie and hung out and watched it together.
But we
didn't because we couldn't. But now we'll be able to do things like that.
Because of you.
The production value will be a lot better. I'll be able to do more. I'll be able to do stuff here at the studio. I won't have to take all the work home with me.
Yes,
and be at home working where my kids are like, Dad, I love you. Why won't you play with us?
Nope,
I'm like, sorry, the internet at the studio sucks so bad, so I have to work here. And they're like, oh, Dad, these years are fleeting.
Yep.
Why? thank you. I truly, and that's a joke, but also true. I really appreciate that you guys are supporting.
With the negativity.
What?
Years are fleeting. I can't spend time with my loved ones.
Well, now I can.
God, you're negative.
Now I can, thanks to the Drivers Club.
Yes, that is great. You are great. I'm better lit today as well.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the Drivers Club, but
I was going to thank them.
for that,
Yeah.
you're still a little green. I'll see if I can adjust it.
Yeah, my vest has some green in it though too.
But
so that's
you
all
look a
part
little
of it.
you look a little sick.
A little peaked. Yeah,
you
make
look
me sick.
little green over there.
Driving me sick.
Yeah, driving you sick. Stay positive, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Oh wait,
What?
we didn't give the link.
To what?
Drivers Club.
I gave it at the beginning 3 times.
Oh.
The correct one. You weren't paying attention because you couldn't make fun of it and create a wrong one.
See you later, guys.
On that note, take care.